Hey, welcome to an impromptu Q&A podcast. We've never done one of these.
How come you don't answer all the questions?
That's actually a question we have gotten a lot. We do the open house show, and we don't answer all the questions, so we're actually working towards that. But since Fallout 4 got officially announced, Lawrence got super excited and threw the script together of all your guys' questions on our subreddit.
Real quick, this whole concept basically came about. I produce open house, and
you do.
I do, and a lot of people have said in the past. It's not a vocal. It's a vocal minority, but a lot of people have said so many questions go unanswered. You only end up answering 6 questions. They're all jokes
Out of hundreds.
And my response to that is, because you know basically everything about us already, you can sift through an encyclopedia of previous questions and answer shows.
But I asked it.
But this person wants to know specifically. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do another show where we can actually answer as many questions as possible because we have more time.
Good idea, James.
Yeah. And like all of our shows, there's always many steps. This is the first of many to come. So you'll be seeing Bruce and Lawrence popping in and out. But for now, I guess for those who don't know us, I'm Adam.
And I'm Sean, or Spool.
What is it? You'd have to decide right now.
Spool.
All right.
That's just Spool.
And I'm James.
Anyway, so we're gonna just go through all the questions. First one's from Oaksis. He's asking, these are all Fallout questions, by the way. That's because of the Fallout thing. And we're playing New Vegas, that's why. So anyway, his question is, assuming the character shown at the end of the trailer is the player character, how do you feel about the possibility of the player character talking? That was the little Troy Baker voice we heard at the end. I don't know. I mean, I guess am I the biggest Fallout fan in the room?
I've played New Vegas. I never beat 3 because it made me nauseous.
Okay. I never beat 3. I never played New Vegas.
Okay. I mean, for those who don't know, Fallout, you're always a silent protagonist. Or at least in 3 and New Vegas, those are the ones I assume people are most familiar with. And so at the end of the trailer, you hear Troy Baker being like, "Come on, boy." The rumor is that you play as a male character. You can't change your gender until like halfway through the game or something like that.
Rebel.
I imagine there's like a sex change or something like that. But I'm indifferent. I don't know. I mean, video games have been doing that for years.
Can we play as the dog, though?
In most situations like this, I think, all right, well, what does it mean to be a silent protagonist? Because technically in the Fallout franchise, you are not a silent protagonist. You are talking all the time. You just don't hear your character's audio because it's supposed to be you.
You're holding up a cue card with words on it.
It's not the same thing as, say, Link, who doesn't actually speak to anyone.
Right.
Like, he just stands there. Occasionally you'll pick, like, do you want to proceed? Yes or no. But, like, for the most part, people just talk at him. And then he just kind of reacts. And how does it sound like when he jumps? Huh? And so
you, Link?
To me, there's no difference between a main character not saying anything or a Commander Shepard, who is, I'm going to pick what Commander Shepard's going to say, and then he's going to say it. Like, it doesn't really matter to me.
I don't think it's going to be huge. Either way, I kind of, I trust Bethesda that they're not going to stray too far from the path that they've created for themselves in these games, where I don't think your character is going to talk the whole time, probably. Well, like through all the dialogue trees and stuff like that.
Well, one of my least favorite things about these games is you enter into a conversation, right? Hit talk right now.
I'm
just talking to you. But when you enter into a conversation, it just does this thing where you just go, and it just zooms in, and it's a close-up of their face.
Don't your eyes do that, though? Mine do that in real life.
Well, I kind of fixed it with Skyrim.
I like the Mass Effect thing, where it's like, I'm going to have a conversation, and then it switches to, like, conversation mode, and then you kind of, like, it looks like a dialogue sequence in a movie, and then I kind of mentioned this before. Yeah, well, I don't like this. I kind of mentioned it before, but I like that, like, you have a created character, you probably want to see it, you have badass armor, you want to see your character.
Yeah, but this is more about, I guess, the main character you playing as is actual, an actual character, as opposed to the person you have created. It's one of those things that it's a wait and see for that, because I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it.
I also think it goes back to Mass Effect again. You can make your main Mass Effect character look like anything you wanted to. He would just always sound the same way. He or she would always sound the same way. But it didn't feel like you were removing anything from the game.
Good. Okay, we're only on our second question. This is from Zeker. What are your opinions on the leak post from about 11 months ago and how the community reacted to it? Have you guys seen all this?
Yeah. Is he asking how they reacted to it now or then?
I guess both. Yeah. I mean, I I guess I remember reading some of it. I just remember the Boston stuff, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't seen it, the leak is basically, I used to work for Bethesda and I got fired for leaking stuff, so here's even more.
So I'm angry, so I'm going to leak stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. What are your opinions on the leak?
I don't. There's the glaring error. Everyone's like, it all checks out, except for the leak said it was coming to 360 and PS3, I believe.
Which could have been the case 11 months ago.
Yeah, it could have been the case 11 months ago. That could have changed. Though, right in the trailer, it just says Xbox One, PS4, and PC, right?
Two bears high-fiving.
I was gonna say it's
Yeah,
high
definitely
fiving,
two
but that's
bears
not a
high-fiving.
choice. Bearded man.
But so as far as the leak goes, I mean, I don't know. Like, we are obviously
I don't really have
steeped in rumors.
I don't have an opinion on it. I mean, I like leaks in general. I think everyone likes leaks, especially if they turn out to be legitimate, because then you feel like you learned a little something and you got in on the inside and you were paying attention enough to be like, yeah, we got them. But like if they turn out to be fake, everyone's kind of like let down, like, oh, like the Nintendo thing.
I remember getting a really early look at Saints Row 3. We got to go check out the studio and see the game like it was in like alpha, like super early development. And I remember one of the developers in the room was like, yeah, so here's all this stuff, and yeah, this is gonna, you'll see some of this in some of the deathmatch levels. And one of the other developers goes, oh no, we're cutting out deathmatch. It's only co-op. He goes, we are? Oh, we should get on that. And it was like things change, obviously, in development. So what was true 11 months ago probably wasn't true now. But a lot of that stuff seemed to be very on the nose, and some of it seems to be coming true. I think the one thing he said in there was that the game is coming out October 2015. She. I'm sorry, she. Yeah. They. I always assume they're all deep.
Sandra Reed, I think was the name.
I put their name out there. That's crazy.
Well, that was also one of the things. It was like, look me up. You can find me in Bethesda's employment roster.
I am a human.
I don't know that anyone ever did. I think that's probably the sketchiest thing. Because I feel like you should be able to figure out if someone named Sandra Reed ever worked for Bethesda.
Right, or someone just looked up a directory of someone who got let go recently on their LinkedIn, and I don't know. Like, who knows how
should be easy to verify that.
Seems weird they'd be that willing to put your name out there, because then you're just basically telling every other development studio out there in the world, please don't hire me.
I wish we could just do a psychoanalysis of this person who felt angry, because that was my favorite part. I wasn't getting all excited about leaks or anything. I was like, I want to talk to this person, because she was saying that she had 2 kids and she was leaking the information because she was pissed off for being fired, like you said, because she accidentally leaked other information. So she admits to being not good at her job and then being angry about being fired for not being good at her job. So she proceeds to screw herself career-wise with her actual name, according to this, her actual name, despite the fact that she has 2 children.
Yeah.
Like, I want to just talk about that.
A little reactionary.
Yeah.
This next one, this is the third question from Boston Brawler 02. Do you think the history of Boston will influence the game in any way, i.e. the Boston Tea Party, Boston Massacre, etc.? I think it could be interesting because there could be a new version of the Minutemen that would be compatible or comparable to the NCR, as well as the number of historical locations in the city: Bunker Hill, Monument, Paul Revere, Trail House, all that stuff, the Old North Church, etc. as well. Another question would be, how would you want this history to be included?
That's way out of our ability to answer it.
I guess, I mean, this is all kind of answered in Assassin's Creed 3, right? Where you go, oh cool, Paul Revere.
Yeah.
It's a video game, who cares?
Yeah.
Doesn't Assassin's Creed 3 also do the Boston Massacre?
I don't know.
I think that's a sequence in the game.
And the Boston
Tea Party, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. I know you do that sort of stuff, and then I guess it doesn't even dawn on you until you go, oh yeah, that's right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know. I mean, I always like how they repurpose things. Like in New Vegas is a perfect example.
God, this game's fucking ugly.
It's
so ugly. Look at that.
Look at it.
It hasn't aged
You didn't
well.
even break her you didn't even build her like Adam would have built her in a weird create a character kind of way. You just built a normal thing. She still looks like a monster.
She has stuff going for her.
Well, I was saying, in this one they have a group of guys called Khazar's Legion because they can't pronounce the word Caesar correctly. Like, I like that sort of stuff. So yeah, if there is like a variation of the Minutemen, I don't know. It always seems to be in Fallout, it's just a minor part of the world. Good job, you're fighting an old black guy.
Old Easy Pete.
I don't know how to sprint.
You better run.
There's no sprint.
Isn't there a sprint? I thought there was
That
a
looks
sprint
like a sprint to me.
New Vegas.
That's about. I mean, if you lightly tap. Okay, yeah. Look at your Pit-Boy. Yeah, you're screwed. I don't know. I mean,
I'm good.
I think Boston's an interesting location.
Yeah.
For sure. But in that trailer, is there any one thing in there I can point out there and you'd go, oh yeah, totally Boston, or you go, oh, I can kind of see Fenway.
Yeah, that's what. Well, you pointed out Fenway.
Yeah.
I think it's the kind of thing where it's a whole different sci-fi world. So
Right.
you know, you don't have to worry about necessarily what Boston means historically in our world. You can just do whatever, you know. I don't think you're supposed to be learning. I don't think you're supposed to be learning VATS on easy P.
I played this mouse and keyboard, so I'm trying to figure out the
Makes
controller.
almost no difference. Long question, short answer. Sorry about that. Rambo Bashor, seeing as how some people are upset that the graphics in the trailer seem subpar for a next-gen game, how do you guys feel about them? Well, I mean, we're looking at New Vegas now. As Spool's getting his ass kicked by Easy Pete.
And his gang of friends.
Spool's gonna lose a tutorial of this game.
It's not a tutorial.
I don't know. I mean, I think I don't. Like I said, I'm not gonna go back on my statement that you have to be this graphical powerhouse, because I do think that we're still at the point technically where if you commit fully to graphics, you're gonna sacrifice something somewhere else.
I always like a perfect example is the Order 1886, where I just see all these comparison things of all this of like best graphics in the world, best graphics. Like, yeah, but so many people complain that the game was shit.
Yeah,
graphics are not everything.
Yeah.
Like for sure. Like,
yeah. I think more what we're questioning is that it just totally looks like it almost looks like the same thing, like again. And so it's like, how long has it been since Fallout 3? How many years?
I want to say it came out in 2007, 2008, something like that. So
almost a decade. Like, it doesn't have to be a whole reboot of everything, but like it shouldn't just look like New Vegas. You know, I don't think it should.
I don't think it did, honestly. I think looking at a compressed YouTube video doesn't do any justice, and also we didn't really see the actual gameplay.
Yeah.
Like
there was even the last shot of the vault guy walking away. Like, I was
that
like,
booty.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you look at his butt, it's like shrink wrapped on there, which is like, that's like really not lazy development, but it's like are there no like cloth physics, like clothing physics and stuff?
You've
like,
seen the hair physics in Witcher.
Sure.
These are little graphic things that you can do that you know, I don't know. And I totally don't think it's necessary, because Fallout is a game that works on a completely different level. It is very much an RPG.
I was gonna say, I think that the big audience that Bethesda's probably keeping in mind, at least from what I understand, the bigger sales numbers are on consoles, and so I would be happy if they came out. Just start a new game, dude.
Yeah, you're fucked. Pickpocket.
I'm doing it.
Look how happy
they won't let me pickpocket.
Use your VATS. There you go.
Punch her in the face.
Or in the tit.
3 punches. 3 solid. Boom!
Head is crippled.
Crit strike though. Take that, Sonny Smiles.
I would like them to come out and just say, this is all gameplay on the Xbox One or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I think at the end of the day, Bethesda's whole mantra is, we'll put it on PC and they'll fix it. The fans will do mods and they'll make it as pretty as they want. You can't
just quit.
I'm surprised there wasn't like an initial save. I thought there was.
You fucked up so quick.
Yeah, how you punched Easy Pete in the face.
But Easy Pete was looking at me funny and I wanted his gun.
Just wow. I think there's cheats. I
We'll
don't
get
know.
it. We'll get
Either way. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we always kind of stand by what we said. Graphics don't really matter. I think we're all kind of unimpressed, but that's not the kind of game Fallout has ever been.
For the record, I was unimpressed just because I haven't been excited for like Fallout.
They have
a lot of people have been dying for it, but it isn't a series that I ever really got into.
And that's fine. Yeah, different strokes for different folks. Like, I'm a big Fallout fan. I like it. So
yeah,
I'm
I don't mind Bethesda's art style, other than like the faces. Just that's always made me laugh, but I never didn't like them.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the next question. This is from The Last Alive. Considering that the trailer looks like it uses in-game footage and the graphics of the game don't look as well as one would expect for a next-gen console, Xbox One, PS4, I think, current gen, whatever. Do you think it's better to sacrifice graphics for story?
For story? No.
Or gameplay first.
Yeah, gameplay. I think. I mean, if your only concern is to tell a story, double down on the graphics.
Totally, yeah.
Because it'll look really pretty, and people are like, oh, even if the story's not amazing, they'll be like, oh, it's so pretty.
And that doesn't just mean like make it look more realistic. I mean, just double down on the graphics. If it's like super stylized, what's that Sword and Sorcery Brothers Sword and Sorcery game?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Like that game is the graphics are part of the storytelling of the game.
and the music's amazing in that game.
The music's
too.
amazing
Yeah.
too. But yeah, I think double down on the gameplay.
Game. So we're saying what? Gameplay, story, then graphics, or gameplay?
No,
graphics,
I usually.
story?
Well, I never say graphics. I say more of just art style.
Yeah, visual.
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
like make something that kind of stands out
Works.
Yep.
on its own.
Yep.
'Cause, I mean, so like a good example is like Witcher and Assassin's Creed kind of look alike. Mm-hmm. But then when you like really get down to the nitty gritty, like that's where you kind of you separate the two. But a game like Fallout has a really unique, different kind of aesthetic, and it's usually because it's based on a time period. I like I always say this, but like I like the fact that it is a moment in time where everyone just stopped, and then you throw a nuclear wasteland on top of that, and then it's like, okay, now you can get really creative with it.
Yeah.
So that's all I really care about in terms of graphics of like what little things are you going to put in there, and they're showing like 1950s Americana. I'm like, I love that. That's cool.
Yeah.
So
I haven't done it yet, but I feel like in like maybe a year or 2 years or 3 years, I will probably go back and play BioShock Infinite, and I think I will still enjoy how it looks.
Yeah.
Because of the art style of the game, because of the environments and the colors of those environments and the style that it really commit itself to. And I don't think it, like, BioShock Infinite didn't come out and blow me away because I thought Elizabeth looked super realistic. I actually like how she didn't look realistic.
Yeah.
She looked stylized and very, like, from a unique time period, kind of like what you were saying about Fallout, you know?
I remember all the hoopla about her not looking like she did in the initial like trailers or whatever and all that too, and they changed her art style so she looked more like childlike, right?
Mm-hmm.
like more Disney-esque.
Yeah.
Which is good, so that way when I'm looking up flash porn games about her, what? It's still questions and answers. We can be funny on this. We don't have to be all super serious. Podcast boys.
No, you can be funny. It's just gross.
Oh, you were there. You saw it too.
She's someone's daughter.
Yeah, she's my daughter.
Yeah.
That's how the game works.
I can do what I want with her. She's mine.
This one comes from Schmeaton Ski, building off VATS in Fallout 3 and the inclusion of hardcore mode in New Vegas. What new gameplay mechanics do you hope will be added to Fallout 4?
New ones.
New
though.
gameplay mechanics? I didn't even think about that. I'm just hoping they keep some of the old ones.
Yeah.
I like VATS.
I like VATS too.
I like VATS because
I like when Spool tries to use them to uppercut a woman in the face.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
It almost worked though.
Bruce, we're talking about VATS.
Yeah, what? Well, I was saying
Bruce,
on
you
top
love
of that,
VATS.
what
I love
other
VATS.
are there any gameplay mechanics that you think are missing from Fallout that we need?
Missing from Fallout.
If you could come up with a
Like,
new
in general?
a new gameplay mechanic to set Fallout 4 a little bit
Gameplay
apart,
mechanic.
what would you add?
Well, I mean, have you guys already talked about the whole online gameplay mechanic?
No.
That's something like I mentioned this, and I think everybody kind of rolled their eyes in here, but it was one of those things that I wish that they would do, which is sort of like public events where you play online with other people in Destiny. You could do that in Fallout. I doubt that they're implementing that at all. It looks like it's just the same old game, but that was something I wanted to see in Fallout 4.
So you'd want to meet other people in the wasteland,
Right.
like, but then when you do, like, you go inside a building, it would just be you?
Exactly. Like
Okay.
it's sort of like instances and raids and things like that. I just wish that there was like some giant wasteland monster that would appear that you all had to fight together or whatever, and then you get loot and all that other stuff.
All I've wanted, I think most people have wanted from Bethesda games, is co-op. Like just like
yeah.
even 2-player co-op, but 4-player would probably be like what people would want. Like just give them.
Someone can just play as your companion?
Yeah,
like the dog?
exactly. Especially
yeah,
like even in
that'd be cool.
Skyrim.
Carry my stuff.
Like who wouldn't have loved having like their companion or whatever
Yeah.
be like a playable character?
Well, it's
or,
funny.
like,
I always envisioned the opposite of Destiny, where it was the open world is empty. It's just you. That's your story. But if you get to a dungeon, it's like, hey, your friend's online. Do you want to play together? And then you guys could do, like a raid together, that sort of thing. That I'd be fine with. But then, they kind of went full retard with it with Elder Scrolls Online, which was the complete wrong way of doing a Bethesda game online.
Yeah, it really was.
So,
What are the odds you think of this of what we're describing being in Fallout 4?
real low.
Yeah, I know. I think Bethesda kind of knows what they're good at, which is a single player game.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know. I just want a better menu interface.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Something between what we've seen in Fallout and what we've seen in Skyrim, like just something in the middle would be kind of nice. And I think they keep getting better with it, but then also with mods and everything else. But for the general users on consoles, it kind of sucks when you're stuck with long load times and a shitty interface.
Yeah.
This comes from Bruce Toxic Ass.
Ooh.
Oh.
Do you
That's my
have
ass.
any theories or predictions to make about the game, such as story, time, setting, features, or themes? I'll post my theory as a reply to this to avoid it being too long. He's saying his theory is that you lived in pre-war, you're in pro, so yeah. Oh, Lawrence wrote that part in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see.
He put in his brackets his own thought process.
Gotcha. Was it who was saying it in the room that it might be? I think I saw those Robaz or someone was saying like it. You might be able to, it might be what happened right after the bombs dropped.
Oh,
which actually doesn't really make any sense.
I thought this was after Fallout 3. So we know what happens after at the end of Fallout 3. Basically, water gets purified. So we're assuming it's sort of the start of civilization again, where it's not just wasteland like Fallout 3. And I thought that that's why everything was more colorful.
That makes sense.
I could be totally wrong.
But they also have
theory.
they also have the flashbacks and stuff all built in there too, which looked really cool.
It seemed like that seemed way more like gameplay when it was cutting back and forth than it did like a cutscene. It felt like that was a moment you would play in the game,
Absolutely.
which is it's interesting. That's a cool way of doing it. Where like James was just mentioning BioShock. My sort of disappointment with BioShock Infinite was I don't think you got to experience Columbia in its like pristine nature for long enough. I wanted most of the game to be like that, where like things were good, but then like I think Ken Levine just wanted to like he wasn't what burns everything to the ground. He loves dystopias.
Yeah.
And like I wanted that. I like to see things before the fall, but I want to spend as much time in there as I can and not have to be in a wasteland all the time. So that's what I'm hopeful for, is that you get to see a lot of these moments.
I was hoping that, because I think you're right. I was hoping that was the world was changing, so it was becoming better. Whereas like we're looking at New Vegas right now, and New Vegas is a little more colorful than I guess the original Fallout 3.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I mean, like this to me
it's
it
kind of
looks
like this was gray for brown,
Right,
basically.
right.
DC was really grayish, and this one's just brown desert.
yeah, and 3 was just green, right? Like
Right.
like a green kind of.
Fallout 4 looks like it's becoming a better world. Now I don't know if that's in the past or the future, but I assumed it was in the future. I could be wrong again, but that was my assumption, is that water is purified at the end of Fallout 3, so that means civilization can start up again. So like those larger cities and stuff are sort of firing back up.
I made the comparison to Fury Road, the new Mad Max, where it is this, it's a dystopia, but it's post-apocalyptic, but there's color.
People are starting civilizations again.
Yeah, like the sort of thing of like people are going to make the best of what they have. Like if the world goes to shit and society still continues on, people aren't just going to sit there and be sad and wear gray clothes. They're going to try to bring some light into their life, and I hope that's kind of reflected in the new Fallout.
He also asks about what themes we think might be in the game.
Oh, racism.
I think the major theme is going to be it's the story of one man who has lost everything, right? Who's trying to find a way to get back what he's lost.
Sure.
Only realizing that the world has changed so dramatically that there's no way to go back to what he had before, and he has to learn to live in this new world.
I mean, that sounds pretty good, and it sounds like a trope that isn't necessarily overdone. And that's usually the way these apocalyptic games go. But this is one thing Adam and I or actually Lawrence and I were talking about yesterday, is that I hope that this isn't exactly the same as every other post-apocalyptic story. I hope there's some sort of twist on that one man's story. I don't know what it is, but I'm hoping Bethesda sort of went out on a limb with this game.
Well, this is where video game writing kind of comes in, where they're like,
no, I know.
we should probably just hit the cliches and move on, you know?
There was one thing I didn't even really piece together that well. You're going to kill this man? Is this
No.
Are you
That's Barton. He's my friend.
Yeah, sure.
Can you help me?
One
Sorry, I
of the
got my own
things
problems.
so, two of the things they showed was the vault suit was 111, so not 101. That was kind of either it was just a nod or that's a thing. But the one thing I didn't really even think about was that you idiot.
Oh, Spool.
Barton, vat him.
Yeah, why aren't you?
Because I wanted to do that.
No.
Cut off his head.
The wasteland is not for
Give
the
me,
faint of heart.
Or Spool.
Yeah, or Spool, really. You just took that man's clothes. But you see that Brotherhood of Steel power armor, and I'm wondering if that was the main character taking the armor
I'll take his
off.
harmonica too.
Oh.
Like maybe he's like a runaway, from the Brotherhood of Steel.
Oh, yeah.
That could be kind of interesting.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, because it looks like it was dismantled, like it was taken off of somebody. And it's like, why is it just sitting in a garage? That stuff's kind of coveted, like in the game where it's like heavy armor.
Right.
Have. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good point.
Just a weird thought. So there's a prediction for you. This is LBX Raider. With Fallout 4 being confirmed before E3, do you see Bethesda maybe revealing another game? I've said Dishonored 2.
Yeah, Dishonored 2 is that's a safe bet.
Another game at E3.
Well, yeah, they have their whole press conference.
Everyone wants Elder Scrolls 6. They want, something after Skyrim.
I want
we think-
blowjobs and a pizza,
Yeah, I was gonna
but
say,
I'm not going to get it at the same time.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get that. But, I mean, if we got Fallout 4 and Elder Scrolls 6, that's huge.
What else do you want? Santa's here.
I know.
I
Yeah.
think Adam's probably right.
Come back here,
Dishonored
little
2.
bitch.
And,
Yeah,
Doom.
Dishonored.
They're going to show us Doom.
They're going to show Doom. Oh, I'm saying in terms of reveals, like I keep saying this and Lawrence keeps laughing at me.
What are
Prey
they
2.
What are they saving for QuakeCon then?
Probably more
Quake?
Doom stuff. Or, maybe Quake 7 or whatever. I don't know.
I don't. What?
I'm trying to get.
I'm
this.
hitting
Able
it.
to do it.
Oh,
You gotta get closer.
select. Wait,
I think-
close.
I
It
think
says
the-
you have a 95%. Chop his head off. Hit right
working.
trigger.
Yeah, he's doing it. Oh,
Uh-oh.
but you
Now
weren't
it's doing
doing it.
it.
What the hell were you doing?
I was hitting right button, maybe. I don't know which one's the trigger.
Watch this spool tries to overtake the tiny little gecko.
Give me your hide.
But yeah, I imagine at least one new IP, Dishonored 2, hopefully Prey 2.
Oh, man.
Or they're just going to recall it Prey, because
a big one.
who freaking remembers Prey?
Nobody.
I thought you do. Isn't that
Adam
like
does.
your
Adam's
favorite?
really excited.
Prey,
about
Prey 1 was whatever, but the idea of Prey 2 was really cool.
Remember that one moment we had where Adam was like, "Guys, Prey 2,
Yeah.
Prey 2 with the best." He's like the best trailer that's ever been shown at an event ever was the trailer for Prey 2.
Yeah.
And then we were like,
Sure.
"Oh, really? Which one was that?" We don't remember this being the best trailer ever. And he's like, "I'll show you." And he found it, and we're watching it, and he's like, "Well, I remember it being better."
I forgot about their mind.
Graphics don't matter. Either way, you're like Boba Fett. It was
You
cool.
look like Boba Fett.
Oh, man. Okay.
Dr. Bird.
Next question from Moose Sickles. For people who haven't played any Fallout games, where do you recommend they start? Is it a game franchise you guys feel you need to start from the very beginning?
Fallout
New
4.
Vegas.
I was New Vegas, really? Not Fallout 3?
I gained karma.
For what? Killing... Oh,
They weren't talking to me, Adam.
Apparently they were bad people.
Yeah.
they
Ooh,
have,
they got
got
their
lucky.
because they have dark skin.
I guess Fallout 3? I wouldn't recommend Fallout 1 or 2.
I never played
No.
Fallout 1 or 2. I knew enough
Neither.
about them. My other friends played them, but I didn't have a computer that could run it.
Yeah,
I was fine just starting Fallout 3. I mean...
I didn't beat Fallout 3.
You didn't like Fallout 3.
Oh, no.
Oh, you did?
I
Oh.
enjoyed
Oh,
playing
okay,
it, but
okay.
it was one of those games where, like, you play it, and then because you have like weeks off or whatever, and then you stop playing it, and you come back in 2 weeks, and you're like, I have no idea where I am in this game.
Got it, okay.
Like, unless you can hit it's kind of like Witcher. A lot of these games, Assassin's Creed is even kind of guilty of this too now. But like, there's so much other side questy stuff going on, and the actual main story narrative is only like 3 hours. Like, if you just went boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
then it's real quick. But you also don't get the same effect that everyone else had playing through those games if you just do that.
Just like play your own adventure.
Yeah.
I never got into Oblivion, and
Neither did I.
right before, like, I was getting hyped for Skyrim because it looked really cool. I had a PC at the time, and I just picked up the PC version of Oblivion for $3 or whatever on Steam. Installed some recommended mods with like, oh, it fixes this, this, and this, and I blasted through the game in like 10 hours.
Yeah.
And just kind of sped around. I was like, okay, that's what a game is. And then
Yeah.
I put like 400 hours of it over into Skyrim. So
I liked Oblivion. I never beat it, but I really liked it.
I guess like if you ideally you have a PC. Oh, the other thing they might announce, I assume at Bethesda's thing is remaster versions of Fallout and Skyrim. And all
That's
that
what
stuff.
everyone was afraid they were going to do that for the Fallout. Like they're going to do a
Fallout 4, yeah,
Fallout
for the
collection.
reveal.
Everyone's like,
I was gonna
please
say
don't.
that's probably the best thing they could do is re-release the games because they're all on PC and PS4 and Xbox One are basically just
Hey,
PCs at this point.
Make the whole thing like $40 or something.
Yeah, like put all the games on there. Yeah, replay them. They're all gonna go on Steam sales. Game is-
Okay, all right. So
sideways.
back to that other question about what gameplay mechanics do you want to add. I hope that they keep VATS, but they figure out how to make it less derpy. I don't
know, I love
Based
the
off
derp.
what you select and stuff, then it kind of gives you a cinematic,
Well, this is my favorite.
a cinematic
VATS.
view.
Oh, sorry.
Like I feel like we're at
There's
the point
another one.
technologically where
Come
it can
in.
be like, okay, it's
Yeah.
going to use this weapon to hit this character in the
Yeah.
head, and then It's like Mortal Kombat fatalities, right? Mortal Kombat Lawrence and I were talking about it. Mortal Kombat fatalities used to have to be the thing where the reason you executed the move, so you have to do this fatality at sweep distance, and it's like, well, why do you have to do it at sweep distance? It's because they only animated certain frames that they can't have the character move the difference in distance. But like now in the Mortal Kombat games, as soon as you do the move, it turns into a different like cinematic viewpoint of that move. I hope that they can figure out how to tweak that so that way you don't have situations where you're chopping at like a gecko tail and then your foot's just like shaking like for no reason.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like Adam and I think, and Spool, we like that kind of stuff. Like, I thought it was always funny. Yeah, it's charming. Where like, and I thought they like Assassin's Creed, like those bugs were really charming. If they're game breaking, obviously they're not charming.
No, yeah, there was New Vegas had some game breaking bugs. I remember where
you got them, I think, but I'm not sure.
I played it on 360. I remember, and I got up on a hill and I was sniping some guys, and they were so far out, and I zoomed in, the game crashed because it couldn't load that much information. I was like, okay, anyone can replicate that glitch. That's a problem. But the derpy foot shit was like that makes me laugh.
What about something you can tick on and off on at least the PC version that says cinematic viewpoints, and it's like, you understand cinematic viewpoints means that it's going to show you a cinema, basically like a pre-rendered thing when you do this move, or you can just leave it as is and it'll be derpy and broken and weird.
I think the derpy and broken one.
I think it's fun, but
there's so many great YouTube videos that come out of that stuff, like the horses in Skyrim or all kinds of random.
Well, I remember there was this one too, this other video where there was like there's a booby trap, and there's just like a line you have to jump over or whatever. Like you don't want a bomb will go off if you trip. It's like a tripwire, and the guy's playing it carefully jumps over. And he turns around and his follower just walks up and walks over to the and then all these bombs just drop, and the guy's like, "Fuck!" and he takes a power glove and punches their head off. I love this game. This is from Cooksley. What's your opinion on them using the creation engine, the modified Gamebryo engine? Gamebryo.
So Lawrence said it wasn't Gamebryo.
I don't think it's been Gamebryo. Oh, okay, so he's saying creation engine, which is what Skyrim was.
Okay.
Which is a modified version of
Gamebryo.
They all kind of look the same. I mean, really. Yeah. I mean, the people look like less of potatoes in Skyrim than they did in Fallout.
That's
or like in Oblivion, they all look like melted humans.
Yeah, they don't look like anything.
Or weird
at all identifiable
monk creatures. He's saying, personally, I get bored with the open world games that use it. Maybe I'm just not into that style of games, but doesn't make. But I'm curious to hear if you care at all. I don't know. I guess he's talking about, does the aesthetic turn you away from the game?
I mean, yeah, we were kind of talking like right now. Like, look at this. This is what it looks like when this character runs.
Are these wild bra?
Like, again, graphics aren't everything, but I think we can figure this out. Especially because it's not like Spool changed the length of the legs.
Nope.
But what was that game we played?
Do this.
Where we made our derpy, small-legged, giant-bodied Shrek man?
Oh, like Reign of Kings.
Reign of Kings.
Yeah.
Does better adapting like an original character that you can make completely unique than this does. So we should at least get to that point.
Skyrim has better animation. Wow.
Yay! Welcome to Bethesda.
It's Bethesda land. Wow.
He's stuck.
I mean, this shit happens in every single game. So, but I don't think this is part of it. But yes,
hurt my arm.
It is. I think it is a symptom.
You hurt yourself. Oh damn it!
Why didn't you just use bats?
Because I was too close, anyways. I know I got
You're
hurt.
crippled. He's like.
My bigger thing. My bigger thing. It seems to be that they are resolving, which is the drab colors of this game.
Yeah,
are drab.
Missing.
Very drab.
I was like.
Did you win?
Just play dead.
Look what's happening.
Well, the camera was attached to the bowl.
Well, that was the thing. Like we were having this discussion yesterday before we shot our episode of The Know, where I walked in. I was like, "You guys like it?" And everyone's like, "Meh." Like it looked okay. And it was like I was freeze framing certain shots where I'm like, "Look at the detail on that vault door," and you're like, "Eh."
It looked cool.
Witcher looks better. I'm like, "Oh, I can't argue that." But
except for their hair.
I don't know. I mean, like I said. At least they're being honest, and they're not doing the Witcher trailer that James hates.
No, that's true. That's true. I mean, that was a valid point we made in the Know. So.
Yeah. I guess I feel bad if someone can't get into a game like this because once again, it's not about the graphics. It's sort of the the story you make for yourself and what you do and how you choose to screw certain people over. Like,
it's a gameplay.
For me, that's how I kind of feel about like with Minecraft and stuff. Even like going back to that, is because like I have friends or like a lot of you guys and whatnot. They'll be like, I can't get into it. I don't get it. And for me, it's always like you kind of make your own story. Like you kind of imagine your own thing. Whereas like the game doesn't really give you that much to work with.
Yeah. Well, my aha moment was in Fallout 3 where you go to was it Nuketown or whatever, where the giant or Megaton. Yeah, I go there and there was this like seedy dude, and he's like hey, I'm gonna do some really shady shit. You want to be part of it? I was like, yeah, I do. And he was like, all right, cool. And he had like a cool looking gun. Then I went over and talked to this one sheriff. I'm like, hey, that guy's gonna do bad stuff. And the guy was like, you bastard! And he started shooting. And I let the cops come in and kill him. And then I took his gun. And I was like, oh, that's what this game is about. You can kind of do weird, fucked up shit like that. And that made that kind of what sold me on the Fallout franchise. I don't know. Dr. Joe Fish, what do you think about multiplayer and Fallout? Well, we kind of talked about this.
Yeah,
by that I mean, do you think there could be a co-op mode or something along those lines? Maybe something like Destiny's character scheme? I think Bruce, you and this guy need to go on a date.
I know, we already mentioned that.
Yeah, you take your character and your weapons, armor, and stuff through the story and multiplayer. Yeah,
I mean, our thoughts are, yes, it should definitely be there, but also it 90% likely probably won't be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it will be. I think Bethesda knows exactly what they do well, which is single player. But I'm hoping that the big reveal this year is going to be some sort of online. I don't know if it will be.
You know what's interesting? You're
like, I'm gonna do it.
And I wouldn't be surprised if more developers didn't get on board with it. But how GTA is GTA and then GTA Online, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like how they can almost sell
happening?
two different packages. You know, one being the multiplayer, one being the actual single player game. I wouldn't be surprised.
Children?
No, they're powder gangers.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's something we eventually got from a game like Fallout. I'm not saying we will, but
they announce it later. Yeah.
Well, today we're showing Fallout, and then in 3 months we're going to show off Fallout Online, which is a companion app to the game. You know,
that'd be cool.
It'd be kind of interesting. Yeah, I like the idea of making it optional. That's always like kind of the smartest thing to do. And then I don't know, like the one thing I've noticed is I've been playing a lot more Destiny than I think I would have replayed games like Halo, because they do those daily bounties.
Yeah.
Marvel Puzzle Quest.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I'm not that far as you are, Marvel Puzzle Quest. But same with GTA. They do the daily objectives. Having that sort of thing, like in a game like Fallout, that's open world, and they could. What's on your face?
Awesome. You look cool.
Storm chaser hat.
All right.
Not chasing storms.
Yeah. Some minor online component just to kind of. I don't know. I think stuff like that's pretty good too for people like James who were saying like, I came back to the game and I was completely lost, but they're like, here's 3 things you could do today
right now,
and they will advance you in a way that will probably help you through the story. They go, oh, okay, like that, like minor stuff like that. I don't want a Elder Scrolls Online ever again.
It was I played Elder Scrolls Online to max level.
To max level?
Yeah, to max level plus some. It's fun. Like I played it basically as a single player game or a co-op game. Me and my one friend like leveled all the way up together.
Right, but
and that was fun. But like other than that, it was like
you keep using dynamite on the score.
Why not?
Yeah, you're a hardcore
because
American.
I expect an explosives.
Use VATS. Use VATS.
Yeah,
you don't VATS with dynamite. Not when he's that close.
Yeah, you do, and then you run away. Do it right there.
No,
Okay.
don't listen.
Spool.
Don't listen, Spool.
I'm gonna machete him. Okay? We're gonna machete.
You do whatever you got to do, man.
We're gonna straight razor him.
Well, my issue, like, just with MMOs... Jesus Christ. This goes back to World of Warcraft. What I didn't like was, like, you're the chosen hero. Go out into this world. And then there's some other jackass killing the scorpions that you killed 5 minutes ago, but they respawn.
Well, yeah, that's an MMO for sure.
And I was like, I could never play those games as a single player
You're some
experience.
Other jackass.
Oh, it's like I'm the chosen one. Wait, he's the there's so many chosen ones.
They're all
this is
chosen.
I know.
bullshit.
I grew up with MMOs like literally since the age of like 10 or 11. I started with Ultima Online back in like 1999, and I've just grown accustomed to that, like getting used to like other people being around and not being necessarily like the superhero one. But
well, that's why I like the idea of separating the two.
Yeah, no.
If it's this is the one where you're the chosen one. This is another one where you're just part of this fucked up world.
Yeah.
Like that'd be better.
Yeah, that's kind of the evolution. I think you're right, James.
Thanks, Adam.
Just want to make you feel like you're part of the team, you know?
Sometimes I don't feel that way.
This comes from Funhaus fan. Having never played Fallout but love Skyrim, what are the major differences in style and or gameplay? What has it done better or worse?
Major differences in style
between
are
Fallout and Skyrim.
post-apocalypse versus fantasy.
It is sci-fi versus fantasy, really.
But I mean, like in terms of art style, it's really similar.
Yeah.
At least I always thought it was.
At least the character art.
A little bit. I mean, Skyrim's cleaner.
That's true.
Colder.
Yeah.
I feel like if you had this world of Skyrim, you took away all the water, you'd be left with the world of Fallout.
That's the way I feel
Like
too.
all the
yeah.
rivers, all like because there's so many underground caverns in Skyrim that I see that are like flowing water,
Yeah.
and that causes like light reflection and stuff like that. But since this doesn't have anything,
Oh
shot.
man,
Got him.
That scorpion's dead.
I always thought Fallout was kind of more of a tongue-in-cheek.
19% chance.
Oh, I get it.
got
Yeah,
it.
yeah, like almost comedic.
Yeah, I thought it never
Yeah.
took itself too seriously. Like it always kind of made fun of itself a little bit, but also at the same time, everything's trying to kill you.
Yeah, that's true.
As evidenced by these scorpions, like
Throwing spear.
you could walk. I mean, half the time, like you'll drink water and it gives you radiation poisoning.
Yeah, it would
like,
kill you, right?
Yeah, so it's a world that's always trying to kill you, but
Ha! I missed him.
you missed him.
and now you're
94%
woozy.
chance.
Yeah.
Why am
Pick it
I
up.
woozy?
Pick it up.
I tried.
Oh boy,
Oh man,
this is bad.
don't
news.
back up into the other scorpions.
So I killed them all.
Punch it.
He's the last one.
are you punching?
No. I'm throwing spears.
Ah, you missed again.
Apparently there's like too close
Oh.
for throwing spears.
You look like every white person at a Hawaiian resort.
Oh! They're all around him. Come on.
You're missing a lot.
Probably should
my
get some
gosh.
distance.
He's charging.
I mean, really.
Ooh,
Oh.
ragdoll.
I'm trying to think. I want to say Skyrim is a bit more simplified.
Yeah.
I want to say it was a lot more. It was pretty simple. Go to a.
It's also newer, so you can think that they took into account what they'd learned with New. Well, I guess they didn't really make New Vegas.
No, but Fallout 3, they made.
But they did Fallout 3 and
Yeah.
stuff, so they took what they learned, what worked, what didn't work, and
Yeah.
and went from
I
there.
always felt like Fallout was a bit more branching path, a little bit. I don't know.
No,
More
I,
than Skyrim.
I agree. The Skyrim, I played like I want to say 8 hours of Skyrim,
That's not
and I got kind of bored.
That's fair.
Because it wasn't. I mean, like it wasn't Skyrim's fault. I don't think it was just the fact that with Fallout, I had a ton of time on my hands when I was playing it, and Skyrim felt exactly the same way to me. Where I was like, if I wanted to, I could explore this universe for like you said, 400 hours. Like I could totally do that, and I'm sure Bethesda would make me excited about it. I just didn't do it. And it's funny, the more people talk about Skyrim, the more I wish I had done that. Because I did with Fallout, and I loved it. So
It's a great game.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you're in prison, fantastic game to play. Like you got nothing better to do.
yeah, that's true.
This is from Nesnimus? As someone who's never played, as someone who's never played Fallout before, why should I be interested in this game? I think this is a James question.
What? I mean, I wouldn't know the answer because I haven't played it.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Why should you be interested in Fallout?
I mean, it's one of those things I never want to tell anyone what they should like. I don't know. I don't like hyping people up for things. We do it all the time because we like certain things. I don't know. Why? I don't know. I guess if you'd have to convince someone why Fallout's worth picking up, what would you say?
I would ask them, number one, do they have 5 hours to spend on this game in one session? And if they do they want to have their own adventure? That's sort of my question for everybody is like, you'll enjoy it if you want to go in and wander around. Like, because you honestly are wandering around a lot in those games. You're just kind of looking at things and encountering things.
Cool.
It's perfect.
He's dead.
But this is not to me like a Counter-Strike where you can play a half an hour and leave.
Right.
Like you have to sit down and play this for a good amount of time to be like, it hooked me. Now I'm gonna go back.
Yeah, I think that term casual versus hardcore comes into play, but
Yeah.
I think it's more about how much freaking time do you have.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's a good time killer. It's one of those games where like this kind of falls under I think Spool's $1 an hour show.
Oh, does it?
Scorpion flying in your face.
No, they definitely, like all Bethesda games pretty much give you a shit ton of gameplay for your money.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to tell someone like why you should care because if you're not into it, I'm not going to twist your arm.
Yeah.
That's like I had someone asking me like, what? Like, I know you really like The Witcher. What do you like? Like, how would you recommend that I buy it? And I'm like, I don't want to like have that pressure of telling someone to buy a $60 game that I don't know if they like. So I'm like, if you like the other Witchers for one, yes. If you like open world RPGs like Skyrim or like stuff like that, then yeah, you'd probably like it. But.
Well, it's like I've never played Call of Duty. Should I play Black Ops 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like,
are you first-person shooters?
Do you
It's
look
'cause-
at it and think, this has kind of like grabbed my interest? Yes. If not, then no.
I feel like in this sort of case, what you do is I think what we all used to do. That sort of just got sucked into the ground.
It's like time ramps. That
Yeah.
What I used to do was like I'd go to a friend's house and I'd either rent a game or I'd borrow a game or something like that. And if it was the sort of game where I was like, I cannot wait to play that game, then I'd buy it. I'd be like, I want this on my own, or like I was playing like GTA 3 at a friend's house, and I'm like, but I want to progress my own story, and I want to play. This game is so fucking broken. We can't wait for the sequel.
I would say it's because we're on a console, but no, we're on the PC.
It's skating to you.
Anyways, move on. This is actually a good question for you, Bruce. This is from Eggs Caliber. How do you guys feel about all the dislikes on the No Fallout 4 video? I personally thought that you guys had all had great contrasting points, and thought it was interesting. Thought it was an interesting discussion. I'm breaking down. I'm sorry.
No, the dislikes. I mean, like they made sense to me because Fallout 4. I mean, like honestly, credit to Bethesda #1 for making the fucking game. Like people have been wanting this game for years and years and years.
They could have valved it.
And they could have valved it, and they didn't. Which I was. That's the one thing that I was really super excited about. The trailer didn't get me excited about the game. I thought it was awesome that they made it, and they were like, you know what, guys, we know you like Fallout 3, we know you want Fallout 4, so guess what? Here it fucking is. Like here it is, and I thought that was cool. The dislikes on the episode were just because we talked about the trailer and sort of downplayed it. I think.
Negatively talked.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a little something about game fans.
Okay.
Like people that like video games a lot. A lot. They are very loud, and
Yes.
they do not like. They don't like dissenting opinions.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
And all you have to do is not agree with their opinion, and they don't like it at all. And as much as they like to complain about being misled and like overhyping things and treating these games like deities, they totally do it all the time. There's like we're never gonna pre-order a game ever again. Unless it's Fallout 4. You know, like, that's how it works all the time.
I saw last night when I got home that Fallout 4 is already for pre-sale on Steam.
Yeah,
and there's literally no info in there just other than it's Fallout 4.
And I
in the trailer.
guarantee you, the same people that were just posting on Reddit saying we should boycott pre-orders.
Like,
were
fuck yeah!
We're,
It's still-
we're paying for it because they were like, well, this doesn't count as
It's
Fallout
still
4.
it's like one of the top sellers on Steam too.
So I think it's a passion issue, and it can be good and it can be bad.
Yeah,
and I think in this case, the people didn't want someone walking in and saying, like, spitting in their birth cake. I'm freaking out too. Yeah, like they didn't want anyone coming in there and like
Adam's gonna
ruining
show us.
their fun.
I was saying my example is this is a website we source sometimes, N4G, because it kind of curates gaming stories, but it's one of the most garbage websites in the world because it is all reactionary based on basically people are reacting to titles and like never reading the story. Reddit's kind of the same way, but like this one,
YouTube.
Xbox End of an Era. This is also a super hardcore PS4 fan-infused site. Like, it's always been pro Sony, and it's completely evidenced by so many different things. So this one says Xbox End of an Era, and it's just everyone going, "Yep, you're right. Xbox is over." It's like, did you even read the fucking story? And they're not going to do that. But like, there's just other shit in here. Like this, you won't believe how hot this cosplay is. I mean, there's one in here, nude mod.
I love those
nude
stories.
mod
Stuff like that.
right there.
Kojima story.
First nude mod
But the
for
thing
Witcher
is,
3.
what you're seeing on the base level in terms of like
Click it.
negative comments, dislikes on videos and stuff like that, it's almost 100% based on the title and not the content itself.
Yeah,
Well,
they
we
didn't
found
watch
that.
the video?
We
Yeah.
found that on YouTube, and that's what we were talking about. Is like on YouTube, a lot of people won't watch the video; they'll just read the title or read the description or whatever, and be like, "Rah!" Like it means immediately have some opinion, even though they didn't watch the end of our video or whatever. They just kind of.
Well, the thing that surprised me is in the No video, like Adam was like, "I'm excited." Like Adam was the excited fan, so they're like, we don't even want to have differing opinions.
Yeah,
like
no.
everyone should be on the same
Yeah,
page.
and I think that's one of the things that we always do is we're aware of our dynamic in the group, that there are different. There's usually the straw man and stuff like that, but like we can always have a positive and a negative, and we always do that. We're like, all right, I'll be good cop, you be bad cop, like that sort of thing, and like. You can tell Bruce is going to the extreme, but he's also laughing about it because he's having a good time doing it because he's not serious. It's
Bruce
sort of
is
like,
excited for Fallout 4.
I'm very excited for
Yeah, of
Fallout 4.
course.
I mean, like, I hope to God that I have enough time to play it. That's actually my biggest worry now.
we should take 6 months off.
Let's take 6 months off and play some Fallout 4.
Yeah, and it was just kind of a different take on the side of it where like I thought it was kind of refreshing that it wasn't the same bullshit of everyone jerking themselves off about a video game that's not out yet.
Because everyone else is talking about all the good points.
Yeah.
Like there are bad points necessarily. Like not everything's
Mm-hmm.
perfect. No game.
Well,
no
it
whatever.
also didn't show anything either. It's
Yeah.
all speculative.
It showed
in-engine footage, which a lot of people were very pleased about.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point now, you can do basically whatever you want to with That's what I think. That's also what bothers me a lot about those. Like the Witcher. By the way, I don't really have anything against the Witcher trailer per se. It's just what I like to point to because it makes me laugh. But like, you can do so much with in-engine games. Like the GTA trailers are the best examples of those, where they just did in-engine trailers and they look amazing.
Yeah.
So that makes me always go like, why are we hiring out other companies to show off how cool our game is by not even using the game engine that looks so cool all on its own?
I've always seen that as just it's time. It's time to take a vertical slice out of a game to stop and go, okay, we got to do this trailer. Because I think Bethesda does a lot of that stuff in-house. I remember seeing a behind-the-scenes video where they had a video editor there.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's the guy who cuts all their stuff. And so, like, he's got to capture it, get it approved, all that stuff. That takes time.
Yeah.
And if you go, hey, Blur, here's some assets. Can you just make this for us?
That's
And
easier,
it'll
right.
appease our investors. Like, I can see that
Got it.
being the easier route.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But at the same
He's
We
gonna
almost
get you.
had him. He
I like
was
it.
almost working.
They're actually stuck in the world.
That one's gonna get you.
They're not like just under the ground. They're actually stuck on the environment, which is funny.
94%. Oh, you take that bet.
Boom.
Crit
Critical
strike.
Yeah, you got that. All right, this is
let you live.
Astamar. Sounds weird. How do you guys feel about the timing of the Fallout 4 announcement? Do you think that they should have waited until E3 so they could have a bit more of an edge during the conference, or does it even matter because of the holy shit Fallout 4 mentality?
Sorry.
I'm going to Spool answer this one.
Okay.
I wasn't listening. I saw an army of spark scorpions coming towards me.
I like when not everything at E3 is a surprise.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that comes. I think that comes especially from being in games
Sure.
media. Like, it's a lot easier to kind of be like, as opposed to a lot of lists that just say unannounced IP from whatever studio, or like that makes things really confusing, and it's almost always underwhelming.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
it's almost never what you wanted it to be.
Also, this is coming. Most of us have all worked E3 for like the past 5-6 years
Yeah.
in some way or another. So when you work it, it's a whole different event than like a viewer at home or whatever that's like waiting to hear these things. Usually we get little inklings or like we know kind of what games are kind of coming and stuff. But I feel like a lot of people want that extra info about their favorite game, or just they like the announcement, like the veil being lifted and stuff.
It's like imagine if the only time you ever came was when you had sex with a international supermodel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's the only time, right? But what was that? Maybe once every never,
lifetime? Yeah.
every never. Like, but so I like to jerk off too sometimes.
Wow.
And so Bethesda doing their own. All right, here's a Fallout trailer or whatever. That's like jerking off. You know, it keeps the status quo. Keeps things good, and I think that's better than loading everything into 3 days and then going.
I like to think, it's kind of like a fluffer though. Like it just keeps you ready there.
Like I came out of the ground. What I'm actually a fan of, since we've had things like PAX and I guess QuakeCon and
Ooh,
getting dehydrated. What's happening here?
no, I'm woozy because they nicked me.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I like Gamescom. I think was kind of a big deal when they started. Like, I like when the information spread out through the year. I mean, just from a career perspective, it makes our jobs easier.
Yep.
Instead of having to wait to the end of the year, or one part of the year before the summer, and get all the news at once. Like James is saying, yeah, it's like I'd rather that stuff be spread out, and I like that Nintendo's been kind of doing their directs. Like I like how they do that. I don't really give a shit about most of what they have to talk about, so it's not that great. But I'd like to see other companies kind of follow suit. Like I'd like Sony to do it once a month to be like, here's a bunch of stuff we're doing. This is what's in development. Here's some new trailers. Here's some stuff, instead of like saving it all for E3. I think E3 is an old, antiquated system that needs to kind of go away.
Well,
Is E for all still a thing?
No.
No,
Not
that ended.
for years. I think Adam said this a long time ago to me, and it stuck because he was saying, and this is from a business perspective of Bethesda. What you want to do is, if you announce this game now or 2 weeks before E3, then you get a bunch of search traffic for just your game. And if you would put this into E3 with a I don't know 100 other games that get announced, then even though it's Fallout 4 and even though it's massive, it's not going to be as big as if you put it out on your own.
Yeah. What if Half-Life 3 gets announced? It won't, but what if it does?
Right, yeah, then you get overshadowed. So, like, I think Bethesda made the right decision here, and I think that more companies are going that way.
And we kind of made the comparison the other day about how it's kind of like Black Friday and stuff, and where now they do it like 2 days beforehand or start announcing things or releasing stuff beforehand so that people will go to their sales and not miss out on their. It's kind of like this and that, like the hype. You're trying to get that hype before anyone else gets to it.
And it actually it makes me a bit more excited too that they have more to show. Like you said, if the rumor is correct, the announcement is going to be that the game's coming out this year, Fallout 4, that I always try to look at things from like a marketing perspective. So we've got E3 is the big announcement. We've already seen the gameplay, which means it's already playable. We still have Gamescom, QuakeCon, PAX. What about PAX South? That's
PAX South is in January, I think.
So RTX, like you have all these different events that you can pick from that you can market out. QuakeCon being the biggest one because it's all Bethesda now.
Right.
And Gamescom because then you get the European crowd, and then TGS if you really want to get the Tokyo crowd. So that would make sense if they're going down that line of marketing. So that's
got it.
I'm hoping we see something a little bit more like Todd Howard just goes and goes, here's the gameplay mission. Here we go, and we can get a little bit of gameplay. That's all.
Yeah, I honestly think Bethesda nailed the timing, like almost perfect.
Yeah, sounds good. This is from Prezazir. How do you feel about the internet being so fickle with graphics of games? Gamers say they don't want to be hyped up for the false gameplay and pre-rendered style trailers, James. Then they go and complain that Fallout 4 looks bland. They get what they want and they still complain. Do you think there is a way to fix this train of thought? Ooh, that guy's cute.
He's Neil.
Well, I think this is the same as movie critics. Like, once you get this medium that's so large, you have things that sift to the top of that and create a film that seem to represent the opinions of everyone, but really don't care. So you have movie critics who will gladly accept a free invitation to go see a movie, but then look down their noses on that film because it didn't meet their criteria for whatever. I think that's just a symptom of almost every single medium. The only thing is, because games aren't treated the same way films and books are, like in terms of art or whatever, there's no real filter on the criticism. So it becomes internet. It becomes tied with the internet, where you can say anything anonymously, so everything you say is going to be on steroids. Like you may think it looks kind of unimpressive, but you're still going to play it. But the comment that you leave on a YouTube video is going to be, "This fucking sucks. I hate this," because that's the internet.
That's another thing too, where I see this a lot. Like I think I saw a headline saying something along the lines of like, "Dear gamers, you say this, but you say another thing. You're embarrassing yourselves." Like, well, there's a lot of voices on the internet. It's not just one guy.
Well, and also on the internet, it's a vocal minority too. Like,
it can be
a low percentage.
Sometimes you have to look at it like maybe like an electoral college, where like this group of people probably represents a much higher number somewhere else, where a lot of people are like, I guess like us, like we'll voice an opinion, and someone goes, "I didn't know I had that opinion before, but that you are like, I thought that same way, but you vocalized it in a way that I couldn't. I agree with that person." And they let someone else do the talking for them. Holy shit!
Barrel.
Do it.
We're gonna die.
Why are you killing these guys?
Don't do it again.
To do something with them.
Because they're super mutants.
Right?
You're trying to get to Tabitha or whatever.
Not that one. Not that one. Not that one.
0, 0,
I want to
0,
change
0,
target.
1.
Right stick.
There we go.
Yep, shoot him in the head with a rocket launcher.
This will be fun.
Boom!
You're dead, right?
His head's crippled.
Oh, I'm good.
He can't walk with that head ever
You're
again.
about to die.
I got stim packs.
I guess at the end of the day, there's a lot of opinions on the internet. You're going to hear a lot of people screaming at each other about stuff that ultimately doesn't matter, graphics in a video game, because if a game's fun, a game is fun. Ooh.
Survived.
His head was crippled. Ah! Oh my god.
Your arms are crippled.
Your
I
arms
like
are
that idea.
Hello.
So, I think we talked about that more than anything else in
don't
here,
kill
about
me.
the graphics.
Please don't kill me.
In my opinion, if the game plays anything... Like, Spool's already been demonstrating, this game is ugly.
You're ugly.
And graphically it's broken. Why are you defending the game? I still want to play this. Like, I want to go back and pick this up and be like, maybe slap a few mods on it and be like, okay, let's see what people have made in the last few years when I haven't played this. Because it doesn't matter. It's a fun game.
It is. It's just fun to play.
Did I miss anything else in that question?
I'm going to save that. I don't know how I lived.
You did it.
Either way, I'm glad they didn't do a CGI trailer. Or they didn't do the typical, like, just a voice and then announce the thing, because then we would have been hyped for the last 8 months. Whenever they would have done that, I guess they would have done it in January.
Oh, I see.
Is their typical time frame. I got into a weird Reddit argument with someone over this. It didn't really make a lot of sense. But like typically the way Bethesda did it, at least with Skyrim, was they did the CGI announcement trailer, and then a few months later or a year later they'd do a gameplay trailer, then the game would come out. It was something like that. Like reveal in 2010, gameplay 2011, reveal like later that year, 2011, then you buy the game. Fallout, at least they're like, here's a gameplay trailer, here's some stuff, and it's hopefully, once again, it comes out this year. I'm really hopeful for
That'd be amazing.
I think it might.
That'd be
Nice.
amazing.
You found the super mutant.
What
anyway,
is that?
I think that's it for...
Oh, you made it through?
that is it for everyone's questions.
Wow.
I wish Lawrence would have...
He was like, I'll be in 15 minutes.
That's right. He's still doing the E3 calls.
Yeah, I think he's actually done a call about E3, where hopefully we'll be seeing the game. But thank you, everyone, for your questions for this the very first episode, hopefully not the last.
If you enjoyed this, go ahead and give it a like.
Yeah.
What about a
Really?
favorite?
Let us know.
I guess
a favorite? Do they do favorites then?
I don't know.
We do box for
actually,
box?
I don't know if you guys know this. Every time you hit that like button, we get $1.
That's not true.
I
What?
wish.
That's not
Yeah.
Do
What
we-
account does that go to?
Are
Huh?
who gets the dollars? You?
No, there's like this tribal village out in the middle of Africa.
Ugh.
Wait, we're donating to
But that's
poor
not
people?
true.
That's
We
fucking
don't. None of
lame.
it goes to charity.
4 is in the eye of the beholder.
They get the money when we retire.
Oh.
We get to go to that island.
Oh.
In
It's
Africa.
like a 401k for islands.
Please make sure you like then, because I want to go to an island eventually.
I'm actually curious. Yeah, I wonder how many likes we can influence. Who made it this far? Like this video if you made it this far.
And tell us that you liked
I just
it.
want to know how many people finished, even
That's
though we
what I
look
was.
at the analytics.
That's what I wanted to see. How many people actually watched it all the way to the end?
Yeah.
Anyway, hopefully more to come. Thanks for listening, guys.
Goodbye.
They mad. Get legs.
Oh yeah, let's we'll finish this.
legs.
Get him.
Get those legs, boy.
And I think what they see, presuming this is true, I think what they see in Silent Hill is a Five Nights at Freddy's style IP that they can own lock, stock, and barrel, basically. Yeah. So they saw the success of Five Nights at Freddy's on YouTube. They saw the success of PT, and they're thinking there's not really another horror games franchise that's poised to blow up like this in new media on YouTube with like streamers and stuff. And they know that's how games are marketed nowadays. Or that's the most successful way to market one. So
I was gonna say once you account everything in there, and then also it's not.